What is up, guys, and welcome back to Cozy Talks. This is our recap video of the last event, UFC 324. It was a pretty good card. It was a pretty good card. The main event was definitely a banger. I feel good about it. Joe, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was a great card. We got off to a great start, 3 finishes in a row. Thought the prelims were going to get popping, and then we kind of just hit a speed bump. It got slow for a bit. We jokingly said UFC's back, but we definitely are glad it's back because it was a long 6 weeks before UFC 324 rolled around. Uh, and then between Friday and Saturday, we got hit with some of more news, more cancellations, which we'll get into. But before we do that, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Content's back. We're gonna get rolling on it. We got another numbered event coming next week, which we will cover here soon in our next video. So keep an eye out for that. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So with that being said, let's get into the news that we were talking about. So between Friday and Saturday, for those that missed out on Saturday, shame on you. Casual, joking, shit happens, but get the Paramount subscription. You're never going to miss an event. You don't need to be using any of the third-party apps, whatever you're using. Yeah, so what happened between Friday and Saturday was Ricky Tercios and Smotherman had their weigh-ins. They did their weigh-ins Friday morning or Friday afternoon, whenever it was, because anyway, Smotherman fainted at the scales after he stepped off. He made weight, but did not look good coming up the scales. I don't know why his coaches weren't up there to catch him. That was kind of my big question of that, or like to like at least walk with him. Usually, sometimes you'll see the coaches up there with him. I don't know if they were allowed on there or what the occasion was, but he fainted, smacked his shin, had to get stitches on his shin, I think is what I saw. And then the big one. I mean, I'll say big because it was a good fight. Both these guys were on streaks coming into it. Michael Johnson and Alexander Hernandez. We almost got another Isaac or Isaiah, either way, Dolgarian.
It was Isaac
Yeah,
Dolgarian.
yeah. We almost got another Dolgarian incident with betting lines being kind of basically flip flopped, basically the day of the fight. And so when the news broke out, Dana White went on to the post conference and said that this was dropped because of that. Didn't want to have to deal with that shit again, so he just decided to rebook this. Not sure if these two are actually going to fight each other or if they're going to fight different opponents. But the rest of the news is things that are already known. So after that, let's get into the actual recap of the fights that did happen. Early prelims was originally 4 fights. All the fights that were canceled there were all early prelims. So early prelims was only a 2-fight window. But first fight, Adam Fugit versus Ty Miller. It was one-sided from the bell, man. I mean, Adam Fugit just has no head movement. He doesn't have great footwork. Ty Miller, on the other hand, the kid looks like he's been boxing since he came out the womb. Dude was just a natural on there. He was boxing Fugit's head off. Ended up getting the finish at the bell. He impressed me. I mean, for him only having 2 finishes on his record, I was kind of like worried that this would be kind of a rough watch. But that's kind of on me for not watching the Contender Series, like you were talking about how he had a great fight in the Contender Series. I didn't watch it, or at least I don't remember it. But that's that's on me. And he looked great. He got that finish, and yeah, I mean, I think this is a guy to keep your eye out on because he's young and his striking's already looking good where it's at. Who knows what's in store for him.
Yeah, Ty Miller looked really great. He looked really great. Just like you said, right out of the gun. He came punching from the start to finish, and it only took him 5 minutes.
Yeah,
4 minutes and 59 seconds. But he was piecing in Fugit. I coming into this fight, I did pick Fugit. I thought Fugit, would have given Ty Miller a little bit of a tough fight. But overall, I did say that this fight was going to be a banger. It did have a little bit of potential to be a banger. And my second was this fight going under 1.5 rounds. So that hit. But yeah, that was a pretty good performance from Ty Miller. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah. I got worried when I saw a spinning elbow catch him.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty from Fugit. Hit a spinning elbow out of nowhere while Ty Miller was advancing.
Yeah.
Kind of rocked him a little bit.
Yeah. Moving on. The next fight, dude. What's crazy is both these early prelims got performance of the night. I didn't see. I can look later when we get into the. I'll look at the UFC stuff to see what got performance of the night, because Dana White said that there'd be new pay for all these cards. It'd be 25,000 for performance of the night. It'd be 100,000 for fight of the night. Uh, and then I think it's 25,000 for any finish.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think that's what it was. So both these guys obviously got 25,000 for finishes. They also got performance of the night. So was that $50,000 or is that just a 25,000?
No, it's 100.
Is it 100? Okay,
It's 100
maybe
grand.
maybe I had the numbers wrong. I'd have to go back and recheck the numbers. But Josh Hockett, I mean, this was another one that felt like a one-sided affair. Denzel Freeman, I mean, they might just cut him. He's looked like shit in his last two fights. The first fight was kind of a bar fight. Felt like they were just kind of slugging out, being tired. This fight, Denzel Freeman got wrestled. I was really worried about the submission. I had the Hockett KO, and I felt like he was hunting that rear naked every time that Freeman was building a base. It looked like Hockett was trying to build up to a rear naked, look to get on his back, but it wasn't there. He wasn't trying to take it. Wasn't trying to force anything. Ended up back on the feet. Ended up putting Freeman out. Same time, 1 second left on the bell. Back to back buzzer beaters, man. It's gotta be the first time I think we've ever seen that. There was probably an epic photo somewhere of Hockett giving Freeman the finger as he walked off with the knockout win. He's awesome, dude. I think Hockett has a bright future. I mean, him being a collegiate wrestler coming in and he's willing to just strike, and he kind of just has all the tools already. The only concern, like I said, I talked about this already, is that he's just really light for a heavyweight. He's not one of the bigger guys, but I mean, he's out here making these big guys look like shit. Granted, it's kind of the lower echelon of the heavyweight division, but we'll see how it looks when he gets further up into the division. What he's going to bring to the table, if he's going to be good where he's at. Maybe he's going to end up having to stack on some extra weight to get with the big boys.
Yeah, 100%. Josh Hokick did exactly what we had talked about. He went out there and gave absolute belt to ass to Denzel Freeman. I mean, you could see the numbers right there. Freeman tried throwing shit at Hokick, but it didn't land nothing. Absolutely nothing. Fat zero on that. Um, my biggest concern, though, after seeing that fight, is Josh Hokick getting a little bit too ahead of himself. He is a very exciting dude to watch. He has a crazy personality. He's crazy with the mic, but he was kind of getting a little gassed out because he was all over Freeman, all
Mm-hmm.
over him. But I do agree with you. I do see Hokick going pretty far. I mean, he is doing exactly what he needs to do. He is promoting himself. He's going out there and whooping these dudes' ass. I mean,
Yeah,
after that performance, you could easily argue Freeman has never been in a fight in his life.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I'm sorry. Like I'm just a guy sitting in front of my computer, but
Yeah, what have you
Denzel
done,
Freeman
Z?
is he's a professional fighter with a 7-2 record. He was 7-1 before this fight. How
Yeah,
is that? How is that not like 1-7 off of
yeah,
that performance? Like, what kind of dudes were you fighting, and how much time were they giving you to build up some type of confidence to actually fight? I don't know. I agree with you. I think they should cut Denzel Freeman. Um, he's not like some prospect, up and coming dude
yeah,
like Josh Hokick. So that's all I really have. But Hokick by finish here was big money. Was big money. Me and
yeah.
Joe both had that,
It was
and
it was a part
Hokick
of
went
my
out there and got it done.
it was a part of my cycle, and I got it at plus 275, which I thought was an insane price. Um,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see him on the 4th of July card. I don't think there's any
Oh, for
doubt in my
sure.
mind that this dude's not gonna be fighting on that card. Who? I think that's gonna develop here in the next coming weeks. I mean, he called
Yeah.
out Waldo, which is obviously not a realistic call out. He's not
No,
ranked. Waldo's on like a six, or I think he's on like a 5 or 6 fight win streak or something like that. Might even be less than that, but he's still on a big win streak, and he's in contender talks. So it's not a fight that's probably gonna happen. The ones we've entertained were like Steven Asplund. We've talked about Derek Lewis. I don't know. There are other fights to make for him, but it's not the call out that he should have had. Kind of a weak call out.
for sure.
Um, but moving on into the late prelims, we opened it up with our first 2026 dog. Big dog money on him, actually. He was like plus 300, I think, or plus 200. That might have been somewhere around in that ballpark. I was on the side of Charles Johnson in this one. I thought that, him being on his win streak, him being kind of the prospect killer, he'd be able to handle business here against a struggling Perez, winning one of his last four. But Perez just looks sharp, dude. Like you called it. You were right. You said Perez was going to be he's not no prospect. He's another veteran. He needs to bounce backs on the wall. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, and he looked sharp. Caught Charles on the I think he hit him on the back of the ear, knocked his equilibrium off, and then it was just ref called it. Dude had lost all his balance. He was fucking stumbling around the ring.
He kind of hit him with the same punch Charles Johnson hit Lonnie Kavanaugh. Charles Johnson was he had his hands down. He was trying to get out of Perez's range, had his hands down, and Perez caught him. Caught him when he was trying to fade out of the pocket. But yeah, I had Alex Perez in his last fight. I thought he was going to win his last fight, and he looked great. I felt like with Alex Perez, with coming off that loss against Tyra, and it wasn't really a loss. You fucked up your knee. You were out for a little bit. Got your knee redid, and come back. You look great against Asu, but then you make a mistake, and Asu catches you and chokes you out because of it. Yeah, those are some of the things why I was leaning towards Alex Perez. But overall, I like Alex Perez. I like him as a fighter, and he looked great out there. He went out there and got the job done.
Yeah, I think we can kind of agree that Perez. I mean, it seems to just be that if you wrestle him, you probably have a better chance of beating him because that's who he's lost to is really just the wrestlers. His striking is pretty competent, but when you wrestle with him, that seems to be his low spot. I mean, he's had six losses by finish. That's why I targeted the Johnson by sub. He has 3 subs on his record. He didn't wrestle. He tried to wrestle when he was hurt. I was like, it's something he probably should have just got on early. But yeah, I think that's a great bounce back spot for Perez. He retains his spot in the rankings. We can take a look at that division real quick. He's retaining his 11. I still think he's gonna probably fight down. Maybe another spot below. Maybe he'll end up fighting Bruno Silva because Bruno Silva's off of a win. Maybe you book the Perez and Bruno Silva fight. Bruno Silva number 14. He got his first win back, and then Perez there. Yeah. Moving on. Krylov and Bukowskis. Another dog spot.
Huge if you picked it. A lot of people fucking apparently were on Krylov. I saw a lot of people pick Krylov, but honestly, from the get-go, seeing Modestas, he didn't look the same. I think he had a bad weight cut. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything, but you could even tell in his face when he was fighting, when he came out to fight, his face looked really swole, like really sunken in. It looked like he had a bad weight cut. He did not look like how he performed in his last few fights. But Krylov went in there and he took advantage of that. 100% took advantage of that. Bukowskis, honestly, I feel like Bukowskis let Krylov get comfortable, and Krylov just kept going and kept going and kept going. And Bukowskis had nothing for it. I mean, there was a few times Bukowskis went in there, hit him with some big shots, but it didn't do nothing. So
yeah, the kicks were the problem that Bukowskis couldn't address. I mean, he just couldn't get in the range, couldn't initiate anything. That's why his output was so low. And like I said, Krylov just took advantage of it. He got that victory basically on a buzzer beater in the 3rd round. It was a big win for Krylov for sure, especially coming off of 2 knockout losses. Next fight, this is where we hit that speed bump, dude. This is where like my mood was up here, and then I just came down to here because we got a guy who is just built of concrete, and a guy that we're thinking is going to come out and just polish off Pelayev first round, and it goes to the decision. Now we just know Gautier is human. We know what's going on here. And Pelayev looked good. He definitely hurt Gautier a few times, cut him, went to decision. The 30-27, I definitely question because I felt like it was 29-28 across the board. I definitely gave around to Pelayev. But yeah, I think now that we see that Gaudier is, not this dude that's just gonna walk through all the early parts of the division. I think more guys are willing to take this fight against him. They see what Pelayev does, and they're like, yeah, I think I can kind of do the same thing he did. So I expect to see a little bit more activity out of Gaudier, because now we know more guys are gonna want to be able to take this contract and take this fight. He's
Yeah,
not the boogeyman we thought he was.
for sure. But you could also argue that Gaudier was trying to prove something as well. That something, I don't know.
He was
I don't
loading
know
up.
because there was, yeah, because you could see he knocked him down twice. He knocked him
Hmm.
down twice in the fight, but he chose not to follow up. He
Hmm.
chose not to follow up. He chose to stand up Poloyev, and I feel like that kind of gave Poloyev enough time to really figure out Gaudier a little bit. But Gaudier still won it out on the scorecards, which if you told me that a couple months ago, I'd say you were drunk. That that's all I got on that.
Yeah. All right, moving on into the featured prelim. This was another kind of letdown spot. In my opinion, I thought that we'd see a better Figgy. Figgy was really the letdown here. Umar fought a great fight for what Umar was expected to do. I mean, he was minus 1,600 favorite. Of course, we knew he was probably going to win this, but Figgy just looked totally uncompetitive. He just looked like a sparring buddy. Umar walked out of that fight uncut. Looked like he just came back from 3 rounds. In a sparring contest, and yeah, I mean, the wrestling obviously favored Umar because he's just the bigger dude. Seeing the face off, bro, on Friday that you showed me, Umar towered Figgy.
Oh yeah,
Um, I mean, yeah. So it was just two different stories here, two different worlds, and yeah, Umar got his win. What is it convincing enough for a title shot? You might ask. Probably not. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Umar might be the backup fighter. I think they can do him that, because you're not going to want to revoke him and Corey because he walked through Corey. Um, I think you might save Corey for also maybe the result of the championship fight, because I think
yeah.
I think if you get Piotr Jan to win over Sean O'Malley, if that does happen, I think you're gonna get that short Sean O'Malley Corey fight. But we'll get into that later. Just yeah, on this fight, it was just totally one sided, and it was just kind of a snooze fest, kind of something that I kind of was expecting. You were on the sub line for Umar, and I feel like he never got close enough to even get there.
I feel like he did, but he didn't. He like that's the thing with these Dagestani guys is like they would much rather just hold you down and then just fuck you on the ground. Honestly, I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
as blunt as it is. Like they'd much rather just do that, unless you said some shit about their goat, they're not gonna try to finish you. But
Yeah.
yeah, Figgy, he did not look like Figgy who went to war with Moreno.
Mm-mm.
The odds here were huge, and after that performance, I see why. I understand why. You know, I don't know what's left for Figgy. I don't know what's left for Figgy. He
He's about to be
can't.
40 soon, yeah, or 39 or some
Yeah,
shit. He's older.
he either needs to go back down and try to make a run at flyweight, or just call it wraps.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's all I got.
Yeah, yeah. Moving into the main card. This is the fights that we were expecting a lot of busy work, a lot of bangers. Arnold Allen, Gene Silva. A lot of hype went to the conference for this fight, talking about two autistic guys coming in swinging and banging, and it really was that. It felt very 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 high IQ between the two of them. I mean, it wasn't very much of a crazy Gene Silva that I was expecting. He definitely was more measured in this fight compared to his last fights, which is something that we've talked about. He needs to work on, right? Is just kind of keep his emotions under control, and I think he did a great job there. We did see him surfboard Arnold Allen at the end of the third, which I thought was really funny. That's kind of a touch of just who he is as a fighter. He's always gonna try and entertain the fans. And yeah, he did a great job. Got a close win. The 30-27 again. I don't really agree with. I thought this was really tight going into the third, but I still think Gene Silva came out on top, and I agree with the result. That's what I had on my cycle was the John Silva decision. Got it done. But that thing already lost because of Charles Johnson not getting the sub. But this was the last leg, so got 2 out of 3. Great fight. What's next for John Silva? I think we know what's next. I think he's getting closer to the belt.
Yeah, maybe maybe one more fight,
One more.
maybe one more fight. Yeah, 100%. But this was a pretty fun pretty fun performance from Gene Silva. Arnold Allen most definitely came to hang, or he came to hang and bang.
Ooh.
Um, I thought the knockout was gonna be coming from Silva, but Arnold Allen most definitely can take a punch.
Yeah,
Um,
dude's never been finished.
yeah, he's never been finished in his career, but I love Gene Silva, one of my favorite fighters. What's next for him? I think something big, like you were saying, leading up to a title shot, maybe one more.
I think
Um,
I know what it is just looking at it. It's probably gonna be Yair Rodriguez.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. Yeah, year. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, Yair's been what? He's pretty inactive. I don't think he has anything booked. I mean, I could press on him and read. I don't think he has anything booked, does he? Yeah, he hasn't fought in a while. All right, moving on to our next fight, the one and only ladies fight on this card. Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas kind of just went as we planned. Not much to really cover here. Well, let me slow that down real quick because the judges got it wrong, 100%. I had money on Natalia Silva, and I can confidently say that Rose won this fight. This was definitely a robbery. Just reading the numbers, I mean, see what? Yeah, Natalia Silva beat on the strikes, controlled time. Rose controlled the ground time. But it felt like every exchange, Rose came out on top in. Like I don't know. I thought Rose did enough to get the win there. Definitely won the
Yeah,
first and arguably won the second. But yeah, it was crazy. Here in the unanimous for Natalia Silva, I thought at worst it was I thought at best it was a split, but I still thought Rose won.
I think because I was catching him whenever Rose was stepping into Silva's range. Silva would step in as well and land on her whenever Rose was stepping in, and Silva did that for the entire fight. So you could argue like, yeah, Rose won that fight just based off what we saw. Maybe Silva was sneaking in punches, she was sneaking in strikes, because I mean, obviously, right there, Silva outstruck her. She outlanded and outstruck her.
Mm,
Um, but it did look that way. I can agree with you. It did look that way that Rose took that fight. But Silva ended up coming on top, and I think that was one of the biggest things, was whenever Rose would step in, Silva would also kind of step in a little bit and then catch Rose straight in the fucking jaw.
mm,
So I think the judges were seeing a little bit more than what we were able to see there.
mm. Yeah, I agree with you. What's next for him? I think it's pretty obvious. I think Natalia Silva is probably next for the belt. She's gonna go fight Shevchenko. And then Rose off of a loss, she could go fight Jasmine Jasavicius. She could go fight. I mean, what is there? She could go fight. No, they're not gonna do Trace Cortez. They already fought. Already fought Marina Maverick. She could fight Casey O'Neill. She could get Wang Kong. She's fighting soon, right? Maybe not, but that could be next. Moving on. All right, next fight. We got Walter Cortez and Derek Lewis. This was I mean, it only felt like a stinker because we were on Derek Lewis, but Walter Cortez did what he needed to do. He kept the range, didn't engage in the craziness that Derek Lewis brings, and that's kind of what we were saying that he was going to need to do if he wanted to win this was get Cortez involved in the craziness, and Cortez didn't. He wasn't having any of that shit. Derek Lewis, yeah, he got tired and the output was pretty low, 43 strikes,
Uh,
but it felt like a lot of that came in the first. Second round was kind of him just walking around, trying to hope that he'd catch Cortez against the cage. Didn't happen. He slipped, and then just got stuck on the ground, and Cortez came to him and fucking beat his head in on the ground. And that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy going on here. Yeah, Cortez Acosta, like we said, he's probably in the talks for a shot here soon. Let's look at the heavyweight division real quick. Just real quick. Cortez Acosta, number 5. Beat Derek Lewis at number 8. Cortez Acosta's been fighting down a lot. He's probably going to get Curtis Blades next. He already beat Pavlovich, who's already ahead of him. So, I mean, if he beats Curtis Blades, I think you can argue he's undeniable for being the backup fighter for when they do book that Cyril Gane and Aspinall fight. What do you think, Z?
I don't know what's going on. Like I said earlier, fuck Serial gone. This just completely fucked up the heavyweight division. You know, because you have a dude like Waldo Cortez Acosta who is carrying the division right now. He's fighting, like you
He's
just said,
fighting a lot, man.
fighting dudes who are down, fighting dudes who are lower than him, taking fights on short notice.
Mhm.
Yeah, fuck Serial gone for fucking up the heavyweight division. But another thing as well is like Derek Lewis. Wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up.
Chalk it out.
You most definitely tricked me with the way you looked, with seeing you go on runs, seeing you be in good shape. What the fuck happened come fight night? You looked fat. You did not look like the Derek Lewis that fucking threw the flying knee 5 seconds into the first round.
Against Rogerio, yeah.
Yeah, Derek Lewis did not look like Derek Lewis.
No.
But that's the thing with fighters like that, you know. Like you kind of say the same thing with like Kevin Holland. They're big finishers, you know, they're active fighters, but then what type of fighter are you gonna get come fight day?
Mhm.
And Derek Lewis came and showed classic Derek Lewis. I mean, waiting, winding up,
Just loading up the big
rounding, winding
shot.
up. Yeah, and then just getting picked apart. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Disappointing.
it was disappointing to see, but I mean Cortez Acosta was a pretty heavy favorite coming into this fight, so and it made sense.
Yeah. All right, moving into our co-main. This was this was a great fight for it being a decision fight. This is one of the better fights that went to the distance. Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong. You could say the first round might have been Song Yadong. First round was really close. He got that late takedown, and they kind of were trading back and forth. But second round was Sean O'Malley, and the third I think I kind of, or second round was Song Yadong, but I think third was definitely a lean on Sean O'Malley. He definitely just got busier and kind of found the flow state, and then just found his way to the scorecards and got the win in front of his daughter. It's a big win for him. I think this is our next championship fight standing right in front of us. Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan 2. The casual.
100%. 100%. Casual's favorite fighter, Sean O'Malley, getting another win. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. When I say that, I'm not trying to diss Sean O'Malley or anything, but he
Hmm.
is the casual's favorite fighter. I mean, anybody who doesn't really watch UFC, they always mention Sean O'Malley. You know, like literally had dudes ask me, "Oh, when is Sean O'Malley gonna fight Robert Whitaker?" I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, this was a pretty good fight. I mean, Song Yadong looked really good in the first round.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I would say 2-0. I would say 2-0 O'Malley. You know, I think Song Yadong kind of came out hot in the second, but O'Malley, he was just more active. You know, he was more active and he was getting into that flow state. I mean, third round was all day Sean O'Malley. You know, he was picking apart Song Yadong, keeping his distance, you know, finding those sniper shots and avoiding the pocket with Song Yadong, which, you know, Song Yadong kind of needs to be in that pocket.
Hmm.
Sean O'Malley's longer fighter. But yeah, I feel like if that was a 5 rounder, Sean O'Malley probably would have knocked his ass out because
Yeah, he was starting to find
that
it.
third round, yeah, that third round, he was really starting to flow. But yeah, I agree with you. Probably going to be Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. So that's probably going to be coming
Yeah.
at a main event near you.
Yeah, as far as Song Yadong goes, he's still gonna retain his ranking. He's probably gonna fight down.
Should
Uh,
be the White House card.
you think so? The Sean O'Malley fight? Yeah, I'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty solid. It wouldn't be the main event. I think they're gonna do something
No,
fucking big for the main event.
I feel like they're gonna do like fucking title fights on title fights on title fights.
Yeah, they could. Song Yadong, I see him. I see him either fighting someone like Eamon Zahabi, someone like David Martinez who beat Rob Font. Um, could even be Peyton Talbot who beat Cejudo. I don't know.
Oh, that would. Oh, okay. You might be cooking with that one right there. I would like to see that Payne Talbot versus Yadong. I mean, both. You know, hold on. Talbot's a young. He's a young prospect who's just now getting into the UFC. Song Yadong's kind of been around for a little bit. Has
yeah,
been training with alpha males since he was a teenager.
yeah,
So yeah, I would actually really like that matchup.
that'd be fun.
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
Mhm. All right, get into the main event. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We're wrapping up the recap here. It's our last fight of 324. And then after this, what's next will be 325 coming to you guys Tuesday. So, yeah, let's get into it. Main event. We got Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, another dog. I gotta check the dogs on this card, how many dogs won. But it's already off to a good start for the dogs in 2026. I mean, that's a lot of dogs winning in one card. Justin Gaethje was, at the end of the night, he was like a plus 200 underdog. Before the fight, when we talked about it, I think it was like a plus 150 or something. It was a bit closer. But he fucking controlled this fight from the start. I mean, I thought we were about to see a round one knockout. Like right when we got near the end of the first. Granted, in this fight, it did get a little dirty. Gaethje did poke him in the eye twice. One of them I thought was a knuckle on his thumb because like the way he punched, it kind of was like it looked like it was like that, but it might have been that. But anyway, it was a great performance out of Gaethje. You know, the 38-year-old or 37-year-old, whatever. You know, two-time interim, and that's probably as far as he's gonna get because now he's gonna go fight Ilya Taporia, which that is one of the fights that I think is gonna be at the White House card. That might be our main event. That is definitely one to consider. But
especially with Gaethje being the interim.
yeah, this is probably an early candidate for fight of the year between these two. I mean, even though Gaethje controlled it and he was up 4-1 on the scorecards, in my opinion, it was pretty back and forth. I mean, look at the output and the total strikes. This was a slugfest. And yeah, we are right. Scousers do not get knocked out. This sold me. I was a one leg Larry on this fight. I had the main event. If you guys saw in the Friday betting show, everything hit up until this point, and I had fight out going the distance in this, and it went the distance. Unfortunate. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, this was a banger. This was 100% a banger. You know, as much as we wanted to see a knockout, you know, a finish, I can't argue against a fight like this. A lot of people hit me up and like, dude, are you watching this? Are you seeing this? I'm like, yes, I am.
Yes.
And I'm glad you are because this is a great main event to start off the year, and to have so many new fucking fans. This was the biggest live event that Paramount has had since they've launched their streaming platform.
This was like 5 million at once.
Yeah, there was over 5 million people watching this main event. So this is honestly huge. And you know what we had talked about in the beginning of the video with them bringing out all these new bonuses, 100 grand for performance, fight of the night, and 25K for any finish. I expect UFC to go into like the atmosphere with this next year.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a lot more bangers and a lot more dudes hunting for a finish. Because I mean, Justin Gaethje was most definitely banging fucking Paddy's head off all fight. Paddy literally looked like a pumpkin at the end of the fight with his cheeks all fucking swollen up, all blacked and shit. Yeah, this was a banger. This was a banger, and like you said, Justin Gaethje controlled the fight from start to finish. I just think Paddy Pimblett wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting it. Early in the fight, Paddy looked real confident until he got hit with that 1-2 when he was up against the cage. Until Gaethje put him on his ass, and Paddy was like, "Okay, I've never been hit like this."
And seeing Gaethje
like this.
Seeing Gaethje wrestle as much as he did was also a surprise. A lot of those front headlock snap downs and holding him in a head and arm from the top like that. That surprised me. I thought I was like, man, you might just want to stand up. I don't know what Paddy has in store for you for fucking sitting here. But we do tend to forget that Gaethje was a collegiate wrestler and he is a competent grappler. Just chooses not to. And that time he did. I mean, he did whatever it took to win, and he kind of just knocked all the confidence out of Paddy by wrestling with him. He's like, damn, there's just nothing I can do here.
Yeah.
What's next?
I am okay, sorry. I am scared though for Gaethje. Obviously, who isn't scared for Gaethje when he's, you know, going up against Ilya Taporia? But he looked great. He looked great for 37 years old. He can most definitely take a punch. You know, Paddy wasn't hitting him with no fucking weak shots.
Yeah.
But to Ilya Taporia, I don't know. I think Gaethje starches Ilya though. I think Gaethje puts Ilya on his ass, bro. I think he does
Yeah, he could.
because I'm just saying
Yeah, he
that's
could.
what I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the power in his hands to do it, and so does Ilya, man. It's who knows. What's in store for Patty? I think we're soon gonna get that fight of real beef between him and Dan Hooker. I think what it takes is Dan Hooker beating Benoit, in order for that to be a fight to make. Just because Dan Hooker's already on a one loss, he lost to Armin. So I think him beating Benoit kind of sets that up. Because yeah, I mean, if for anyone that's kind of read up on the fight news or like just any of the news outside of the UFC, Patty talked about what, like, rape, his people like raping Dan or something, his mom. Yeah, he talked about it in an interview. I don't know if it was on Ari's show, Helwani, but he was saying something like that. And so Dan kind of shot back with something about Patty's dead friend that committed suicide. And so it got personal. It definitely got personal between the two. And Patty apologized. Dan didn't. Dan said, "I'm not going to apologize for you talking about my mom." And so yeah, so we got some real beef between these two. So if it happens, just know that it's going to be some sort of crazy fight. It might not even make it to the octagon. Who knows? These two might fight fucking at a press conference. Because yeah, who knows? But that is it for the recap, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys sticking around, making this happen. What's next? 325 again. It's going to come out Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. With that being said, guys, stay cozy.
Hey, Cozy, thank you for watching.
Peace.